Alrighty then. Hey everybody, this is Val Taylor. Actually, we're doing a Google Hangout today, and for whatever reason, Google is having an issue. We've tried to start the broadcast and to record it, and it's not happening. So I've just opened up my Camtasia, and Camtasia is going to record this Hangout for us. So this is Val Taylor. For those of you who are watching who don't know me, I am a laid off baby boomer who kind of wanted to all of us to kind of get together and group together and talk about baby boomer issues that are unique to us, that are so different from what some of the other younger people that are in Team Take Massive Action, that are online trying to build a business. So we could talk kind of exclusively about our issues and things, not necessarily all negative challenges and things, but just issues that face us that don't face other people yet. So that's the reason for the group. We wanted it to be an open forum for everybody to come and share their ideas with each other and share whatever they're going through with each other, because we all kind of we're all either empty nesters, or we got kids in college, or we got kids getting ready to go to college, or we're taking care of parents, or parents are taking care of, I mean, we got all kinds of stuff going on if you're a boomer. And so that's what this group is all about. So I want to welcome Gina. And who is that down there?
This is Olga.
Olga. Hey, Olga.
Hi, Olga.
How you doing?
Hi.
And Olga,
I'm
since this is your first time on the Hangout with us, why don't we
Yes,
let
it is. I am so glad I was able to make it this time.
I am too. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and so we can start the Hangout, okay?
Well, I am a boomer also, and I started Empower Network as a result of Shakira.
Okay.
So I said, well, okay, I could do this. Had to learn a lot of stuff, but I said, okay, I could do it. I'm just going to learn the information and make it happen. I don't have any children. However, my mother of 89 years is living with me, and we're more or less caring for each other because I am have some health challenges, and being on SSI, the income is very limited, so you do have to find some other sources of income to just make ends meet, especially when you without that. I was a social worker before I became disabled. And so it's just been, up and down. It's an up and down roller coaster at times. And one of the things that attracted me to EN was the compensation plan. I said, well, I really can't lose with this compensation plan. And anything worth pursuing, there is always a cost involved. So, I got in at whatever level I could at the moment, and working towards building my way up into the other products. So I do have nephews and nieces that's in high school, and I'm one of those community kind of moms. So yeah, I try to help them out whenever I can. I have a nephew that's graduating, and I do partake in a lot of activities with my church with the mentoring program. So we have quite a few young adults that's getting ready to graduate as well. So I've been assisting them in any way I can. So that's my story.
Well, good for you. Congratulations and welcome to the group. And you're in the right spot, because we all got all sorts of issues in terms of family and stuff. And that's Gina over there. Gina, you want to do a quick little intro for everybody?
Sure. Hi, Olga. Welcome.
Gina. Thank you.
I'm from Michigan, Gina Armstrong, and I had a good corporate job with a hospital billing. I was a supervisor and was released from my job 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I guess my husband I have to credit him with getting us involved with multi-level marketing and network marketing and that type of thing. I'm taking the lead on this one. He's doing other things to help out with the budget, but he lost a long-time job. Michigan, as you well know, was a lot of auto, and a lot moved out, and company went under. So within about a year of each other, we lost really good jobs. But I had always thought, just go to school, get good grades, get a job. That was my life, and that's what I wanted. But now that I see there's so much more, I want the freedom. I don't want to, I am working part-time to supplement, but it's Empower Network, there's just so much training. And I've got so much to learn, but I've got the time to do it. So we talked last week, I think, by getting involved with some of that, the learning makes you feel young. Sometimes it makes you feel old, but most of the time it makes you feel young.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Well, you know what? I had put in the group last week, probably last Thursday or Friday, some topics that people wanted to discuss, and I only got a little feedback. And one was from Margarita, I believe, who wanted to talk about limiting beliefs, and I think Mary put one in there about books. So we can discuss those things, and then any other things that you ladies like. I brought a bunch of books here that I wanted to kind of share with folks that I have either read or am reading. And there's some of the same books that you're seeing in other groups that everybody else is kind of reading. You know, a classic for the network marketing industry, of course, is Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
And I read this book probably once a year, y'all. I read it once a year because I always come back to this book as I'm going through trying to push forward, trying to when I'm trying to make a decision on what I need to be doing. I always kind of I just use it as a reference, but I go through this book at least one time a year. So this is one of my very, very, very favorite books. And then the one that everybody is reading that Vic, who's in Empower Network, was reading was this Psycho-Cybernetics. I just got this book, so I have not started reading this one yet, but it is on the to-do list to get. But this is the book that Vic recommended that everyone reads. So that's one. And then the other one that I believe Tracy Walker recommended was 50 Cent's book, The 50th Law. Okay. And this is a good book. I've actually read through this book already. It's a pretty good book. You wouldn't think a rapper could could do it, but it's a really good book. It really is a good book.
Okay.
And so that's another one. And then there's one that was recommended to me by an old online coach of mine from a few years back. This guy has made about $100 million or more online, and it's The Power of Full Engagement. And basically this book has several principles in it, and one of the principles is full engagement basically requires drawing on 4 separate but related sources of energy. And it's basically saying that you got the physical energy, your emotional energy, your mental energy, your spiritual energy, and that you need to be fully engaged with all of that in order to achieve some of the things you want to achieve and be the success that you want to be happy and be fulfilled, basically. So this is a really good book. It's by Jim Lair and Tony Schwartz, if you can see that. So this is a good book. And then one of my very favorite books, believe it or not, has absolutely nothing to do with like internet marketing or none of that. And I've torn the cover of it, but this is a book that I go through every single day. And the name of this book is it's a yoga book. It's called Richard Hittleman's Yoga 28-Day Exercise. And what it has in this book is all these different exercises that I go through every morning after I do my meditation. You take, like if today were day 1, you have one exercise that you do and you learn that one exercise all the way up to 28 days. And then after 28 days, you go through a series of those same exercises where you do 1 routine, 2 routine, 3 routine, then you just repeat them. Routine 1, routine 2, routine 3. This is an excellent book because in the book, in this 28-day exercise plan, he gives you thoughts for the day. And one of the things he talks about is that the principles in this book are so sound and so simple that this 4-week program is sure to become a lifetime regimen, ensuring years of perfect health, lasting beauty, and enduring peace of mind. And that what it does for me is it gives me peace of mind. So what I do in the morning, I log in my gratitude log, and I do my meditation, and then I do this yoga for the day. So those are some of the books that I'm looking at and I'm reading, and I wanted to kind of share with everybody. And I wanted to know if you ladies, Gina looked like she kind of disconnected and is reconnecting, I think. But Olga, do you have any books that you want to share with the group?
Well, what I've been reading and rereading, I do read is Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my standard books.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the one that I've been working on lately has been Conversations with God.
Okay.
Book 1 and book 2. So I kind of listen to them, and it just gives me some basic principles to kind of be mindful and be, like you said, engaged. Be engaged in the moment. Be engaged in what's going on.
She froze. Are you froze, Gina?
I'm back.
You're
I
back.
actually had gotten,
Look like Olga froze. It might just be her internet connection. We were talking about. Now, can you see me? Because it looks like something's going on.
I can see you, but I'm phased out. Yeah, my connection fell off, and I dropped off.
Okay. Olga, are you there? No, she's frozen. She's going to have to reconnect. Gina, do you have any books that you want to recommend to the group? Because what I thought we would do is kind of talk about any books that we're reading or any books that we want to recommend, and then after the hangout, we can all post those various books under the thread of the hangout so people can see who they're made by, and if there's something that they want to get involved with. But I went through a few, and Olga was going through hers, but it looks like she's going to have to reconnect. And I wanted to know if you had any books that you were reading right now, or even thinking about reading, or have read.
Well, I just ordered the Psycho-Cybernetics.
You did.
Yep, I'm going to be getting that any day. And I wanted to get the other one, the Millionaire or something. I have it written down that he recommended, that Vic recommended. And I don't know which ones you went through. I wrote down Psycho-Cybernetics and Think and Grow Rich, and then I lost you.
And then the 50th Law by 50 Cent.
50th, okay.
Which is really good. And then the one that I haven't seen anybody talk about, but this is one that was one of my mentors, online mentors, had told me about a couple years ago, The Power of Full Engagement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the book title and the authors in the Facebook group so that everybody has access to it. And then one of the books that I read every day and do some of the exercises, I talked about this yoga book. So I'm going to put that in the thread also, because that book really, it energizes me, of course. And so I'll share that. But Olga, looks like you're back, dear.
I know. I know. I'll be glad when they get this thing resolved.
So you were talking about Conversations with God. I wrote that one down. Is it any other books that you're reading?
Oh, yes. The other one is I just started listening to is the Winning Friends and Influencing People, or Influencing People and Winning Friends.
Is it Winning Friends, or how
to Win Friends and Influence People?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a standard.
And I like what else? I also listen to a lot of Miles Monroe's material.
Okay.
Miles Monroe. His latest book was what was the name of it? See, I do a lot of audiobooks.
Which is good. Which is good. So when we finish the hangout, we can put either, I'll start a thread about books or audio books, and everybody can put in there the books that they read that they would recommend or are reading, even if they're audiobooks, because a lot of people don't have time to sit and read. A lot of people actually prefer to have audiobooks and listen to them while they're working out or washing dishes, cleaning the house, taking care of somebody or whatever. So we'll include those in that thread. And I think it'll be a good thing to do because all of us need to be reading. We know that that's one of the core commitments that we need to be reading every day. And you can do reading where you're sitting down reading every day, or you can. I think you need to do both. Actually, I think you need to read where you're sitting down reading the book, and I also think you need to listen to the audio because the words on the page will help you with creating your blog content and with like David Wood says the understanding how the language is written, and once you understand that, you'll get better at blog posts. I have found that I've gotten better and better at writing my blogs as I am reading more versus doing audio, but I find that I get a lot of my ideas from listening to the audio.
Listening audio,
every day. So, because there's some, believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize that there are some great audios in that inner circle. I actually listened to 2 of them last night and was kind of blown away by, wow, I hadn't heard this one in a while, and it was just as fresh as, it was relevant to today. So that's something that if you guys got access to the inner circle, I would recommend you go through some of those inner circle audios because they are awesome. They really, really are. But that was kind of what we wanted to do with the books. Now, Margarita wanted to talk about. You got more? Go ahead.
I have another one. Okay. The Affirmations by Noah St. John.
Oh, okay.
And that was something that Layla kind of taught on in the boot camp.
Okay.
And it's affirmations have worked for me, and I know lots of people they've worked for, but not consistently for me. And affirmations are when you ask yourself the question. So instead of saying, I am happy, you say, why am I so happy? Why am I so blessed? Why am I wealthy? And your brain, like Google, starts searching for the answers. And that's, I bought the program, and it's more audio. There is a book that came with, an online book, so it's all online. And then I downloaded some of the audios to just affirmations. You just listen to them. I put them on my MP3 player. So.
Well, let me ask you something about that. So you say that they do work or they don't work for you?
Affirmations? The affirmations do work, have worked at times, but not consistently. The affirmations, I'm just kind of still getting started with it, but I do feel differently when I listen to them. So I think they're going to work. I know they will, but it's why am I so happy? Instead of saying I'm wealthy, why am I so wealthy? Well, I may not be wealthy in the
at the moment
300, 30,000 a month level, but I have my health. There's other ways to be wealthy.
Yeah.
So it's like what he says is your brain works like Google. You ask it a question, it's going to try to find an answer. It's not going to bump up, because when I would say money is flowing to me in abundance and I'm losing my job, my brain's going, no, it's not. Where if I say, why am I so wealthy, my brain will look for the answer to it. It doesn't, it's kind of like doesn't matter what you plant, it will produce, and you can tell bad things or you can tell good things. So it's asking yourself the question rather than, so it's taking affirmations and putting them in question.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I need to look into that. I like stuff like that because it just helps you grow. I just love stuff that helps you grow. I was looking at, this was probably a week ago maybe, I was looking at an old Oprah Life class where Dr. Phil was on there promoting his book, and he kind of did one of the things that Dave Wood talked about. I believe it was in Chicago, and it may have even been in Austin, how people want to find their purpose And let's say you have a purpose that you want to, a lot of people say, I want to help others. I want to help my church. I want to help other people. And then you keep asking the question to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, how would that make you feel if you could do that? And then whatever that answer is, how would that make you feel if you could do that? And then just keep going deep, 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 deep till you find out what you really want is something totally different that you're really not even thinking of, because that will give you what you want to in order to fulfill that dream of ultimately helping people. And it's an exercise that I said that I need to take myself through, just to see what the deep level answer is, so I'll really know. And so that was pretty interesting. So he went through it. Dr. Phil was going through it with Oprah, and then I remember that Dave Wood had mentioned it, and I want to say it was in Austin that he mentioned it. It may have been Chicago, about Nicole Cooper and how they were asking her what she wanted, and the instructor kept asking her questions and questions and questions and questions until they got to the real source of her purpose, basically. And
right.
Because once you understand that, you kind of know what kind of direction your life can move in. You kind of know what you need to be doing. And so I think that's very, very valuable. So good discussion. Now, I basically, believe it or not, y'all might not believe me on this, but Margarita wanted to discuss limiting beliefs. I am truly a firm believer of anything being possible. I really am. And I don't know if it came from my background, being raised in the projects and seeing us go through struggle and kind of overcoming that. I don't know if that's what did it, and my mother's strong belief in God, and ultimately my belief in God that did it. But I just believe that, now I'm not one of those people that believe that I'm going to go buy a Powerball ticket and I'm going to win it. I'm not believing like that nonsense. I'm not that crazy stuff. But I do believe that if I believe that I am where I am based on my beliefs and my actions, and if I'm not at a place where my goals and my dreams say that I should be, it's only because I haven't done the right actions to get there, and I realize that. And so she wanted to talk about limiting beliefs. So I want to kind of open the floor to you ladies. Do you ladies have any limiting beliefs?
I mean, just for a moment here, what we all doing right now, we're recreating ourselves at this moment, okay?
Correct.
Because we are plunging into something, that's intimidating, and when you have intimidations, then you have all of these misbeliefs, etc., okay? But deep within your soul, you have to know if this is the right thing for you or not, because it comes from within, and it goes back to your spiritual beliefs and your emotional beliefs, etc. But that's deep within your soul. It comes from within, and if this is not right for you, then don't go. You're going to keep trying to you're going to keep spinning the wheels and keep spinning the wheels. I'm trying to figure out a way to make this right. We just got to go through the process to learn, and it's a learning process again for each and every one of us, because it's like, okay, I do not know anything about blogging and all of this. I said, this is much more deeper than what I really thought it would be, but my soul says, go ahead, do it, take your time, learn it. Learn the material. Once you learn that material, then it's going to come to you naturally on what you want to do, what you want to say, because each of us have a message to put out there. Each of us are here so we can touch and help somebody else.
That's correct. What do you think about that, Gina?
Yeah, I do have some limiting beliefs.
You do?
About myself, more than I believe in it's kind of like I believe in the system, I believe in the process, I believe people are successful. Where I struggle sometimes is, am I going to be successful? And that's what I'm addressing with the affirmations and the working on my mindset. And what you said, Olga, I think, there are times I question if this is right for me, but I think it's in those troughs that everybody goes through, because there are definitely moments of true clarity where I just feel good and I know this is where I'm supposed to be. So I think if you're going through questions, it's like any relationship you have. It has ups and downs, and but I've never felt so connected to people as I have with Empower Network and the Team Take Massive Action. And there's a place for me with the boomers. There's a place for me with the women's group, and there's in the men. I mean, there's so much, like we were talking before you started. There's so many hangouts that you do have to watch. Managing your time, and I'm kind of going through that learning curve again. It's like I wanted to be involved. My personality is kind of we do the otters. Like I did the personality test with animals, and otters are very social. So I'm like an otter golden retriever pleaser kind of thing, and so I want to be around people and have fun, and but then that can cause some suffering too. So I think this is the place to be, to work on those limiting beliefs. Acknowledge them if you have them, because you can't solve something you pretend doesn't exist.
That's true. Very, very true. You know what? I will say that in terms of trying to stay healthy, I have some some challenges. I won't say that they're limiting beliefs, but I do have some challenges in terms of trying to stay healthy. It's almost like once you get over that 50-year-old mark, man, things are a lot harder.
Yeah, they are.
And so I do struggle with that. I will say that. So and that's interesting. That's a very, very good point. That's a good point. So is it any open discussions that you ladies wanted to talk about? I wanted to kind of hit on the things that people put in the Facebook group first, and then just kind of open it up for whatever we want to talk about. So, Olga, is there anything pressing on your mind related to boomers that you want to address in this hangout?
I think one of the things for me is just trying to be accountable to, and go back to what Gina said, to time management, because I could find myself getting off track, and once you start looking at the different hangouts and stuff, and then listening to certain things, it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, okay, did I finish everything I was supposed to do? So, just that sense of accountability, and I saw there was a tracking, and it was a tracking sheet in the main team file that I may have to go ahead and pull down and just do a check off. But withstanding that, I think that even if we had an accountability buddy, that would be fabulous.
Well, I think all of us do. You don't have one?
No, not really.
Oh, well, you need to post in the group.
Kira, I came through her,
Post in the group, because Margarita was looking for one.
Oh, okay.
And somebody else someone else was looking for one. So post in the group that you need an accountability buddy, and they help. It's really helpful.
Okay.
I've actually got 2 right now, 2.5 actually, because I told Margarita if she couldn't find one, I would step in and help her. But since you need one and she need one, maybe you two guys need to kind of come together. And,
that would be fine.
Yeah, it is very helpful. It is very helpful, because last week I made my venture into the smartphone. I hadn't made that leap, and I called her, and I was just struggling with some stuff, but it was kind of like, what phone would you recommend, is how the conversation started, and then I think deep down I knew why I was calling her was beyond that, and it just was like, just talking stuff out, doing these assignments together, and and it's so funny, because sometimes she and I are very much alike, but it's almost like she's strong when I'm not, and I'm strong when she's not, so that that's how good friendships work. And I wouldn't have gotten to, I mean, she lives in Florida, I live in Michigan. I would have never met her had it not been.
That's right. That's the beautiful thing about this thing of ours. That's what I love about it. Now,
Mhm.
if you just got a smartphone, what are you doing your videos with?
I was doing it either on YouTube or my digital camera,
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
but I've been mostly doing them on just YouTube, uploading my, and recording the videos.
okay. And Olga, you
But
started doing videos, correct?
Yeah, I started. I did one. I just didn't know how to I couldn't find a link to post it into the team massive action.
Oh, wow. It's in the Super Women's group. I'll put the link in the Facebook group so you can have it.
Oh, okay.
I'll add it
Okay.
there.
Okay.
now,
Now,
Olga,
do
do
I
you
have
mean
to
you?
get a YouTube account?
Yes.
I have to open a YouTube account?
You either need to do YouTube or you need to do our back office hosting. Empower now has video hosting. It's $25 a month. And I'm actually using that. So now I have to figure out a way to, I have to post, when I post them in the Super Women's group, I'm posting my whole blog post. And I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out a way if I could just post the video. But right now, the last couple of times I've just posted the full blog post because I'm using Empower's hosting because one of my channels got slapped and then I'm on probation, I think, on this particular channel or another channel. So
Mm-hmm.
what's happening is there are a community of people who don't want you saying Empower Network, don't want you putting Empower Network in your YouTube stuff. So they're kind of
Oh.
flagging your videos. And so Empower
Oh.
decided to create their own video hosting. So we have our own video hosting. And
Oh,
that's what I'm
okay.
using right now. But if you're not able to use that,
Mm-hmm.
then yes, do YouTube. Just be very careful about putting Empower Network links in your description and in the talk that you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Thank you. That was helpful.
yeah, yeah. So Gina, I never did get to you to see if you had anything that you wanted to discuss.
No, I actually about the no, not really, not the
Okay,
boomers.
okay, you
Um,
good?
so,
I mean,
yeah,
are you're okay? Because you said
yeah,
no,
I
not
am. I
really.
am. No, I was more looking at technical talk, but that's really not the purpose of the hangout. So
Yeah,
no, yeah.
yeah. Because we want to keep it. We want
If
to
you
kind
keep the
of.
training in one place and
Yeah,
this in another, then I think it's best, and I
yeah,
agree with that. But I caught myself wanting to ask, another question. So
yeah.
no, I'm good.
You good?
The boomers. Yep.
So so the issues that I continue to, I won't say struggle with, is just that I deal with on a day-to-day basis is I think I'm set in terms of being an empty nester. I think I actually kind of like it. To be honest with you, I kind of like it. My boy just went home. He just went back to college this morning, and he was here
Uh,
all weekend. And I was like, okay, when is he leaving? And I think part of it is that when he comes home, I don't do a lot of cooking anymore. And when he comes home, he wants all his old favorites. So I've been cooking all week, to make sure that he's eating while he's here, and then to make sure that when I send him back, he's got enough stuff to store it and freeze and all of that good stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm exhausted. I need to get busy working.
mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes that's an issue for me, to be honest. Sometimes that's an issue for me, but I am thoroughly loving this. I just need to do more to bring more, and I'm really wanting to bring more boomers into my business. And I know that some of
Mhm.
you ladies probably want to do the same thing because I think EN is fabulous for us. I just think
Mhm.
the community is just so great that I think it's everybody
Mhm.
ought to be involved in this business. So every now and then I get a little, not necessarily sad, but I think about, oh man, I'm an empty nester, and then immediately I shake that off like it's already shaken off.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's really
Well,
kind
that defined you for so many years,
yeah, yeah,
and then the
yeah,
definition has to change. And
yeah. So I'm
yeah.
I'm all good in terms of boomers. I was telling I think her name is Rosa Lindsay. She was on the first Hangout, and she was talking about a lot of things that we have to go through in terms of Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, and all of that stuff that I don't even want to think about right now, and
Mhm.
how we are so misinformed about how things really go. Like I was too. Like when my husband passed away, I thought I was going to be eligible to receive my Social Security and his Social Security, and Social Security told me, like, not only no, honey, you can't even get one of them until you turn 67, 65, or whatever the age is now,
Right.
62,
Lord.
and then you only get one. You get whichever one you
Right.
choose, but you only get one. And see, I didn't realize that. So if you're not in a particular state, a lot of times you don't realize a lot of things
Mhm.
that are there, because I'm not at that age yet. But I am a
Mhm.
boomer, and it's stuff that I have to be thinking about, and I know it's an issue. And I've always felt that if something is an issue for me that's uh, related to the masses, it's got to be an issue for more than just me. And so
Right. And
that's
it
kind of
is.
why we wanted to talk about our issues. So that's kind of the only thing that's really going on with me, and just trying to stay as healthy as I possibly can, because I have a thyroid condition, and the medication that I'm on, I just started being medicated maybe 2 months ago, and I think the medication that I'm on, I lost a lot of weight, is making me bulk up, and I don't like that. And so me and my trainer are working really, really hard to kind of, so I'm fighting the forces of evil. The forces of
Mhm.
evil are medication. She said, Miss Valerie, we're fighting gravity with you. We're fighting age with you. And she said, we're fighting
Mhm.
medication with you. And I said, we're fighting the forces of evil.
Exactly.
I understand.
And
It's
she said, "Yeah, that's one thing." So that's
yeah.
why I try to work out so much, because I got all of this stuff going on. And man, when you don't have a metabolism, I mean, you can put a potato chip in your mouth and wake up, and you feel like you 3, 4, 5 pounds heavier.
Oh
Yes, and so
gosh.
my metabolism is totally shot. So I'm trying to
Mhm.
work out, trying to just. I'm really trying to lose, but all I'm doing right now is maintain, and I'm hoping I can get to a point where I can actually start losing. I have the same issue that Oprah has, which that's the issue I want to talk about, is why she won't talk about that. That is the one issue, because I'm mad at her about that, because it's the one issue that she won't talk about. She won't discuss her thyroid issue. But
Mhm.
if you see her, you can look at her and tell that she has gained a lot of weight. And I
No
know it's
way.
related to
Right.
her thyroid. And when she lost all of that weight, it was related to her thyroid, because the same thing happened to me. I lost like a few
Mhm.
years ago, I lost like 15 pounds maybe in a few weeks. And
Mhm.
I
Wow.
looked sick, but I lost a lot of weight, and it was the overactive thyroid. Well, you go to the thyroid doctor, and they kill the thyroid, and then you become underactive to where
That's
you
it.
can't
Right.
lose any weight. And so I'm
Mhm.
battling that issue. But that's one of the things that I really wish Oprah would discuss, because I know she could get the right doctors and the right people in place to,
Mhm.
discuss it openly. But thyroid medicine, they say, is the second number prescribed medicine in the country, right behind blood pressure medicine, and they've got me on
Yes.
both of them right now.
Mhm.
So that's a
Yeah.
boomer type issue for me, is that dealing with the medical stuff. So
Mhm.
so that's
Mhm.
what's
Yeah, it
going on with
definitely
me.
is.
That's been an issue for me too, because they have me on thyroid medication, as well as high blood pressure medication as well, and I do have sickle cell disease, so I have to deal with that issue as well. But I'm just so glad and blessed to say I'm thankful that I've been able to maintain um, my health issues by just say I just told myself, and I said, look, God, it's between me and you, and we're gonna do a natural remedy cure for everything. So I'm just on a natural, a holistic, lifestyle, trying to maintain that. And it can be expensive, yes. And SS don't pay for anything, but I'm determined to make sure I have what I need to keep my health in check.
Good for you.
And I do check my blood counts and my numbers, my TSHs and stuff, every 6 months, and I can see the numbers going down. Okay, and what I've been doing with my sickle cell. I have a particular regimen that I follow, and that's been helping me. And people just been looking at me and saying, "You're not having that not been sick." No, I'm not trying to get sick. And it's just certain things that I made up my mind to do, and I'm just going to stick with the protocol, and it has been working. My naturopathic doctor, she I consult with her at least once every 6 months also, either by email or either I go visit her. And, she's kind of in agreement with what I'm doing with my physician. So my hematologist, she's been looking at my numbers. And the other thing that I have to deal with is because I have contracted Hep C through a blood transfusion.
Mm-hmm.
Many years ago, and so that they wanted to put me on a medication that I wasn't particularly interested in taking, and it didn't agree. It didn't work with the natural rhythms of your body. So and it just tied me to the house basically. So I said, and I talked to my liver doctor about that, and he was in agreement with me, and he saw my numbers were coming down, and she saw my ferritin numbers were coming down. So I said, as long as the numbers are coming down slowly, then I'm going to do what I'm going to stick with my natural protocol.
That's awesome.
Because sometimes too many pharmaceutical medications make everything just go, out of whack.
Well, that's very true
because they don't balance one another.
Right. Very true. They say that if you're on, it's up to, even Dr. Oz has said this, that if you're on up to 5 prescription drugs, it's typically the drugs that take you out, not whatever you were treated for. Because one drug will treat one thing but harm something else.
Absolutely.
And I'm actually getting ready to go to a wellness doctor in the next week or so about my thyroid, because I'm very unhappy with I'm very unhappy with doctors telling me I have to take something the rest of my life at this stage.
Really? I don't think any of us want to be in that situation where we have to take something for the rest of our life.
I mean, it'd be different if I had cancer or something like that. I mean, just for a little thyroid condition, come on, it's got to be a way.
Yeah.
My mom was on thyroid her whole life, her adult life.
Was she heavy?
No, struggled with it a little bit. I would never call her really heavy.
So she didn't feel like she was gaining weight or anything while she was on it?
No, I actually think hers was underactive, so the thyroid medication probably speeded it up to keep her from gaining the weight. So that's what I thought.
You're right. That's what mine's supposed to be doing, but I feel bloated. It's just me. But you're right. That's exactly what's
maybe they need to switch meds.
But see, since I'm just on it, they want me to be on it for 6 months before they even look at an alternative. They're basically saying, Valerie, you got to get a medicine time to work, and which is true. So I'm trying to be a good patient, but I'm also trying to look at natural alternatives too, because I firmly believe that food is medicine. But I'm not so far off to that tide. I'm not receptive towards a drug if I need a drug. If I need a drug, for sure. If there's no other way, absolutely, I'll take it. But if there's a way that I could do it naturally, even at the expense, because doing stuff naturally costs a lot of money, I would rather pay for the food than pay for the pharmaceuticals. And that's kind of where I am right now, trying to figure out the balance there.
Right.
So it's really interesting. So those are the kind of issues that we have, particularly after, like I said, after we turn 50 years old, when a lot of things that we can kind of shake off in our 30s and 40s, that and it's millions of people that have not necessarily a thyroid issues, but there are millions of people that have different kind of health challenges that once they
Yes.
turn 50,
50.
that they need to be addressing. And so I wanted to kind of talk about everything. I wanted to talk about Empower Network. I want to talk about self-development. I want to talk about health issues. I want to talk about,
Exactly.
all of the things that we face, because those are all of the things that are unique to us, that the 20-year-olds that are in Empower Network will look at us like we're crazy. Why are we sitting up here talking about a thyroid issue?
Little do they know.
Yeah, little do they know. Just keep living.
Right.
Just keep
Absolutely.
living.
Absolutely.
So, you ladies have anything else you want to discuss today? We got a few
No.
more minutes.
I look forward to meeting all of you guys at
In
Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Denver. That's what I do look forward to. So
Awesome.
hopefully,
Well, I'm going to have to look you guys all up on Sunday because I won't get there till then.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's start with you, Gina. You got any closing thoughts? We can wrap it up, because I'm a firm believer in managing time. Time is my most valuable asset, and it's yours too. So you want to have any closing thoughts for the group?
No, I think today's discussion was very good, and I agree that there are issues, but the frame, I believe we're framing them positively. They exist. What can we do to fix them or overcome them, rather than use them as a reason not to? So, I think that's the purpose of this group, and I'm really excited about that.
Good, good. Olga?
I guess I want to say is that we should continue to be true to yourself and who you are, and and move forward in what you think that's right for your soul. Because if it doesn't feel right to you, then you're going to continue to question the universe and yourself, and you won't fulfill your purpose.
Awesome, awesome. And the only thing I have to say is today I am doing a 21-day meditation series, and Deepak Chopra is guiding it. And today's thought was to just be grateful. And I'm just grateful for where I am in my life. I am so grateful for you ladies in this group. I think that this group will grow larger and larger as people, baby boomers, come on board, because one of the things that I saw when I went to Chicago, it kind of knocked me off my feet. I did not realize how many baby boomers were in Team Take Massive Action. And that's kind of where the idea came from. I'm like, boy, we need a place to just talk about our stuff. And so I'm grateful for the people that are coming on board and participating. And I want to encourage everybody to continue to invite other boomers that's in Team Take Massive Action. And I just hope that we can grow to a great community to just help and support each other through whatever we're going through, either business related, personal related, whatever. And just be a community of support for each other, just like Empower Network is, but just kind of focus on what's near and dear to our hearts, basically. So with that said, we can give a good wave and say bye to everybody, and we can end this hangout. And I'm going to put a link in the hangout about the books.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to put a link in the hangout about the books, so everybody can put the authors and the title of the books and audio books that they're looking at, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Wonderful.
See you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Have a great
Okay,
week.
bye-bye.